Hey guys, welcome to History Behind the Warrior, and today we're going to be breaking down another Injustice trailer. Now we can see right from the get-go that when two fighters approach each other, they'll have their own interesting dialogue between each other, obviously taking inspiration from Mortal Kombat X. And we can see that when Atrocitus enters battle, he is accompanied by Dexter, which is basically a really angry cat with a red lantern ring. Now when we have a brief look at Supergirl's fighting style, we can see one of her devastating grabs, and like a mid-air grab, which I can only assume is much like Cyrax's mid-air grab, which is fantastic for anti-airing. Now if we look into the background carefully, we can actually see the name of this stage. Although we can't see the entire name, it's actually the Ace of Clubs, which is actually a bar in Metropolis. The Ace of Clubs is owned by a man called Bibbo, who was a massive supporter of Superman in the original DC Comics. We then see a newly designed Aquaman with Gorilla Grodd in what can only presume is Atlantis now. We then see a little bit more from Gorilla Grodd, but the shots are very quick and very sharp, so I can't really tell what it is, but most of them seem like grapple moves, which mean that most of Grodd's moveset could like revolve around grappling. This is hands down one of my favourite scenes in the trailer, and that's when Supergirl is straight up charging to Atrocitus with her eye lasers. We can also see that they have been meter burned, not to mention the beautiful new stage in Metropolis. And during the time that Atrocitus is being hit by the eye lasers, we can actually see Dexter in the background, whereas before he actually wasn't there. Which brings up my question, the possibility of variations in the game, or the possibility that Dexter pops up here and there to refill a certain ability that Atrocitus has, which could work much like the Drunken Master variation of Bo' Rai Cho. And this would kind of make sense since the Red Lanterns have a very strong link to blood magic, or this could possibly be like his special ability, since everyone in Injustice 1 had their own special ability. Now when we cut away, we see Aquaman using one of his grabs on Gorilla Grodd, which apparently involves tentacles. We then cut away to Supergirl and Atrocitus once more, in which we see that there will be stage interactions due to Atrocitus throwing a slab of metal at Supergirl, and apparently Supergirl has a very Scorpion-like teleport. We also have another shot of Metropolis here, which shows off another one of the stages on the map. Now if we look in the background of this stage, we can see three notable statues. One being the Clark Kent of this world when he was working for the Daily Planet, one holding Lois Lane when she had died, and the last being Superman holding what I can only presume is the world on his shoulders. And if we look around the background, we can see cranes around it, meaning that it's still being built, which more or less confirms that the evil Superman has in fact escaped, and that he has somehow risen back into power. Now we do see a little stage transition by Supergirl, and we see the unveiling of Batman and a kind of weird looking Superman. That's probably his default costume, and it's just kind of weird looking to me anyway. We then see Batman in a glowing green suit, possibly kryptonite, doing a stage transition on Clark, in an area that seems quite dark and gloomy and is what I can only presume is Gotham. We then have another little showing of Gorilla Grodd, and he seems to use his mind control on Atrocitus. This seems to be most likely his grab. We then cut away to Atrocitus, who is shoulder barging Superman, in which he then pretty much throws up blood magic in his face. And after this we can see some of the customizable stuff you can add on the characters, which we then see some of Supergirl's ultimate and the reveal of Black Manta, and boy does he look really cool. We then see Atrocitus's ultimate, followed by Batman and Superman's, which seems to be paying tribute to the Man of Steel film. We then see a little bit of Atlantis when Aquaman performs his ultimate on Grodd, in which he pretty much feeds him to a Megalodon on steroids. That's what I could really get from the entire trailer, guys, and I hope this is kind of confirmed and revealed a lot of stuff. But I do want to say I'm still quite interested if they're actually going to incorporate like a variation system in the game, but even then the game still looks very good. I do have to say I'm quite happy that they've incorporated quite like a brighter color palette for the game, as the original was quite dark and brooding and was pretty much a Batman wet dream, so it's quite refreshing to see these lush colors pop out on the game. I do have to say I was quite disappointed to not see the Flash in this trailer, but with E3 coming up, there's no doubt on my mind that we're probably going to see him in the next few days. So I hope you guys like the breakdown stuff, because I like to do these kind of things and deconstruct them and feed you guys what I managed to kind of get out of this. And also guys, let me know if I've missed anything in the comments below, as it helps everyone know a little bit more. I definitely expect more Injustice coverage as more trailers roll out, but I do want to say I'm really hyped for this game because it does look amazing. But anyway, that's enough fanboying out for me. But anyway, as always guys, please comment, like, subscribe and share this video with everyone you know. Take care, and I will see you guys next time.